Yeah,
Hey,
a dust collector question for you.
sure.
Do you know what the difference is between a scrubber and a bag house?
Yeah, bagels, generally you have actually a media inside of the collector, so they'll have bags in there.
Okay.
That actually the bags do some filtering, but the purpose is for it to build a cake of material on there, and that actually will filter the solids then out in the airstream.
Okay.
Then like a scrubber, generally you got a some kind of restriction in there, like a clear Venturi scrubber, which is like a rod depth. And what that does is atomizes water, and the water droplets actually capture the particulates. So you're rather than having like a filter bag in there.
So a lot like the precip, like the precipitators we have, kind of that concept.
Yeah, our precipitators, 80 or 85% of the capture is done by water,
Okay.
and then the other 15% is done by the cages or whatever,
Okay.
the electrical charge. But like Menorca's main collectors are the like the wet Venturi type, so the rod deck.
Yeah. Okay. And is there any benefit of one to the, so like at North Shore, was there a reason we went with the bag house for the hearth layer and a scrubber for the screen house?
I don't know, but I know like in a wetter application, you struggle with the bag house. So I mean that would be one of the considerations I'd look at if there's any chance of having wet material with blind bags, and then you can't really run the collector real well.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then you got to think cost is probably a consideration just for footprint. I think. And also the bigger, like if you're gonna put a bag house on your main process, the footprint would get pretty good size too. So
Okay. Okay. No, that's helpful. I'm getting ready for the IRRB meeting, and just in case I were to get a couple questions, I was just trying to get things squared away here.
we got so we asking for money for one of our for both of our projects there then. Or I mean the one capital project.
Time is 2:02. I call this meeting of the Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation Board to order. With that, Sarah, will you please take the roll?
Senator Champion. Senator Champion. Representative Davis.
Present.
Senator Icorn.
Present.
Senator Farnsworth.
Present.
Senator Hofschild.
Present.
Representative Weigel.
Present.
Representative Lislegaard.
Present.
Representative Scrumba.
Present.
7 members present, 1 excused.
Thank you, and with that, we'll move for the approval of the last meeting's minutes. Motion by Senator Farnsworth, any discussion on the minutes, additions? All right, see that, all those in favor, I guess, do we have anyone online, Sarah?
No.
Okay, so then we can just move to a voice vote on these. With that being said, all those in favor of passage of the previous minutes, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails. With that, we'll move into our commissioner's comments. Commissioner Rubio.
Thank you, Chair Ido. Well, I would just want to welcome everybody to today's meeting of the Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation Board. Thank you all for being here and working together to advance economic and community development projects in northeastern Minnesota. Today is almost a year since I've begun as commissioner, so my speaking points might take me a little bit longer than normal. I just want to review today several exciting projects that are expected to increase the regional tax base, retain jobs, and create construction jobs, provide essential services, improve education for our youth, expand outdoor recreation, and advance the operations and production at area taconite mines. The communities in our service area have identified their current projects as priorities and have applied for economic assistance from the agency to help meet these needs. So I'd like to provide a few agency updates and some information about a unique project on the agenda. We will then move to the order of business. So our agency's new housing grant program opened for applications on November 1st. All of you as board members were really supportive of that. So currently you won't hear of any projects here at today's board meeting, but we anticipate at the next board meeting there will be projects. There is $5 million available to help with this project or programs that result in the creation of new housing units or the rehabilitation of existing housing units. And the grant cycle is open through May 31st. We're eager to work with local communities, tribal governments, and nonprofits on potential projects. This past weekend, Giants Ridge opened for the ski season this past Saturday. It's a weekend behind typical, but as you know, we have not really had much snow, but Giants Ridge is open for business with a lot of hills due to some of the new snowmaking equipment. And so the weather is, it's been a bit challenging, but the staff is very seasoned. They are working around the clock. The trails are great. And Giants Ridge, as you know, for decades has been a major economic driver in our region. It attracts more than 100,000 visitors annually from across the United States and Canada. And we're looking forward to another great winter. Linda Johnson will present to the board today an expenditure from the Giants Ridge Recreation Area tax dollars for the new recreation center at Giants Ridge. Another exciting project on today's agenda is the City of Aurora's industrial site. Aurora plans to develop an industrial park and spec building that will help the East Iron Range to reach its full economic potential and meet the needs of businesses and manufacturers seeking to relocate or expand into northeastern Minnesota. The agency supported prior projects of this nature, such as the spec building at Range Regional Airport that's owned by the Chisholm-Hibbing Airport Authority and is occupied by thriving and expanding Detroit diesel remanufacturing. Matt Schoberg and Janelle Brushner will present to the board today on the project that involves a loan and infrastructure grant to support Aurora's goal of economic vitality, community growth, and well-paying jobs. Later this month, the agency will publish a year-end review to mark the close of 2023. Some of the highlights include 12 business loans totaling $21.6 million, 185 grants totaling $38.6 million in over 70 communities across the taconite assistance area. The work, investments, and results are fantastic, and the staff and I look forward to sharing this news with the public. Finally, I would like to mention some of the recent changes in our staff. Several of our employees will be retiring soon. Lorraine Hall has served the agency for many years as the commissioner's assistant. She has served many different commissioners, and today is her last board meeting. Her last day with the agency is going to be December 15th. If I look at you, I'm going to get mad. I would like to compliment her on all of the work and professionalism that she's brought to the agency and to the commissioner's office. Sarah Percool will assume Lorraine's position, has been shadowing Lorraine for the last couple weeks. Sarah was previously in our communications department. She's doing a great job and we look forward to her continuing this role. Other new staff members that we have include Stacy Schultz as the agency's new general counsel. She brings a wealth of legal experience from her years of service in the St. Louis County Attorney's Office. Stacy is providing legal analysis and advice regarding the agency's economic development projects, use of the agency's various funds, and issues regarding compliance with state laws, rules, regulations. She also oversees the development of legislation and policies that could impact the agency and prepares opinions on legal issues. Sean Herhusky, Sean, if you wanna, Sean has joined our agency from the private sector as the new community development representative. He brings experience in housing, workforce development, and working with communities and businesses across northeastern Minnesota. And Carrie Dahl is our new human resources director. She previously worked in the agency's HR division before accepting a position with, is Carrie in here? Okay, we can meet her after, but she previously was with Minnesota North College and now has returned back to the agency, so very excited to have that knowledge and experience. And there are going to be several other employees that will be retiring in 2024, so the agency will have a number of job openings in the months ahead. So thank you again for being here and working to advance economic development projects that make northeastern Minnesota strong and better as we move into a new year and exciting future for everybody. At today's meeting, we will review several of the projects, and it's also fitting today that the first projects on our agenda are related to our region's iron ore producers, as today is National Miners Day. Today celebrates the thousands of iron miners in northeastern Minnesota for their skill, hard work, dedication. The excellence in mining provides the raw materials needed to produce products for Minnesota, America, and this entire world. National Miners Day was designated in 2009 by Congress to honor the mine workers of today and yesterday whose contributions have helped make America strong. The projects that are being reviewed today include $8.6 million in TEDF mining rebates, $4 million in infrastructure grants, $56,000 in regional trails grants, $5.4 million in K-12 school collaboration funds, and $500,000 in Giants Ridge Recreation Area tax expenditures, and a $15 million investment for City of Aurora's new industrial site. The agency's total investments for all projects combined is approximately $33.6 million. The total project investment is approximately $73.2 million. The projects are expected to increase our regional tax base, retain jobs, create construction jobs, provide essential services, improve education, and expand outdoor recreation. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Is there any questions or comments? Comments, Commissioner. Senator House.
Thank you, Chair. I'm wondering about, Commissioner, the housing funding. I know you mentioned that there's no applications this time, but you're anticipating a lot of applications and that. I'm wondering, do you anticipate that all of the 5 million will get utilized in those applications? And if so, are you looking at possibly a future for those funds and increasing it either this year or in future years? Commissioner.
Sure, thank you, Senator Hoschild. It is too early to tell what we anticipate, what we'll see in terms of requests. So I think as we get those requests, as we see what happens with the rest of the year. But, you know, this was a pilot year, and so we put out the $5 million, not knowing for sure what we'd see. Part of this is also tied into the work that you all did at the legislature with the state housing fund. So some communities might use some of those state funds along with ours. And so we're remaining flexible, knowing that for one, the housing issue isn't going to be solved right away. We're going to have continuing needs. And I do think there'll be an appetite for continuing the program, but I don't know yet to what monetary level.
Yeah, thank you. And that was the impetus for my question, is that because of the state money that we passed for housing, I just want to make sure our region is at the forefront, hopefully, of acquiring a lot of those dollars. And I think the agency being our advantage in that is important. So hopefully we can stay on the forefront of making sure those funds are available.
Thank you. Anyone else? Representative Lizagard.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just for the communities out there, one of the things that we did this last legislative session is we allocated $1 million to the Northland Foundation to hire someone to help communities that don't have the resources or the staff to be able to navigate through a very complex system of a housing plan or to get funding. And so, Tony Sertich, who is the head of the foundation, will be hiring someone, and when we get more information when that is, please utilize that resource.
Thank you, Representative Lister. Anyone else? All right, well, thank you, Commissioner, for your comments, all your hard work. It's been a great year, and that report, I think, gets us excited for the next one. With that, we move into the next item on the agenda, which will be resolution number 24-011, presenting Ms. Johnson.
Thank you, Chairman Igel, board members. Today, we have 6 projects with a total rebate amount of $8,620,416 for a total project investment of $21,397,000. The TDF authorizes funds to Minnesota's taconite producers for workforce development, concurrent reclamation, plant and stationary mining equipment, facilities for a producer, and research and development in Minnesota on mining taconite, iron, and steel production technology. Our first project today that we have is Hibbing Taconite Mining Company is eligible for a rebate of $1,549,876, subject to the company providing a minimum match of $1,549,876 for a minimum total project investment of $3,099,752. The project today is for a tailings basin buttressing at $3.2 million. Hibbing Taconite's tailings basins receives and stores tailings after extracting the iron units during the pellet production process. The basin is an engineered impoundment that is designed, monitored, and operated to safely contain tailings under all anticipated conditions. This project is part of Cleveland-Cliffs' commitment to ensure its tailings basin meet or exceeds current best practices in the industry for tailings facilities. Hibbing's taconite's investment in the construction of a downstream buttress essentially widened the dam and added downstream support at the toe of the existing dams. This is an ongoing project, and this request covers a portion of the work that was completed in 2022. Adam Osborne is here, the Hibbing Taconite General Manager, to answer any questions if there are questions on this project.
Any questions from members of the board? Seeing none, please proceed.
Chairman Igel, board members, the next project we have is for Menorca. Menorca is eligible for a rebate of $695,929, subject to the company providing a minimum match of $695,929 for a minimum project cost of $1,391,858. The project is for fines and crushing cleanup system at $3.2 million. This project adds wet cleanup systems throughout the primary crusher, coarse ore reclaim, finish fines crusher, and transfer house, which will reduce the risk of respirable dust exposure. This project requires a phased approach that will begin with improvements to the fine crusher grade floor, the coarse ore reclaim, and the primary crusher buildings. Completion of the project will allow for fine materials generated during cleanup activities to be removed from the crushing circuit and delivered in a slurry directly to the concentrator, which will increase crushing efficiencies and reduce the risk of particles becoming airborne in the downstream process. We have Connor McHugh, Operations Manager, and Nolan Koskela, Controller, available if there are any questions on this project today.
Representative Scott.
Mr. Chair, Linda, technically, these have all been vetted by you guys. I mean, there's no ahas here, there's nothing, this is all legitimate, this is what we're supposed to do. We're going through the process, but if there's any quizzing questions, I mean, I've read through it, I've seen it all, and it's kind of like, we want them to reinvest in themselves. And they use this money to reinvest so that they keep up to permitting conditions and technology.
Chairman Igel, Representative Scraba, yes, the companies each work with their management team as well as their non-salary folks to come up with a plan and vet it through the process. So they're all in line, and a lot of these are large capital projects that carry from year to year to year.
Yeah, all right, thank you. No, thank you, Mr. Chair, thank you, Linda. Thanks.
Seeing no more questions, you may proceed. Thank you.
Thank you. Next project is North Shore Mining Company. They are eligible for a rebate of $898,413, subject to the company providing them a minimum match of $898,413 for a minimum project cost of $1,796,826. The project is for a pellet plant dust collection upgrade. Total investment, $1,997,000. The project will replace both the north greenhouse scrubber and the earth layer baghouse located in the pellet plant. The baghouse will upgrade in both volume and cloth area to capture more fugitive dust and will exhaust its clean air inside the building, thus keeping the building pressure neutral. The new scrubber will also have redesigned velocity balance ductwork for better flow of the material and less plugging. Nolan Costella is available if there are any questions on this project.
Any questions from members of the board? Seeing none, you may proceed.
Thank you. US Steel Keytac is our next project. US Steel Keytac is eligible for $1,076,262, subject to the company providing a minimum match of $1,076,262 for a minimum total project investment of $2,152,524. The project is for Keytac DR grade pellets at 2.5 million. The project will design and install additional beneficiation process to the existing concentrator, enabling Keytac to reduce silica concentrate, meeting DR pellet specifications of 2% silica. New processing can be utilized year-round or bypassed to produce the current blast furnace grade pellets. New processing equipment includes additional grinding, separation, and flotation to remove additional silica from the ore prior to pelletizing. Rob Bulmanen, engineering manager, and Travis Kalari are available if there are any questions on this project.
Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, you may proceed.
Next project, US Steel Mintac. US Steel Mintac is eligible for a rebate of $3,173,541, subject to the company providing a minimum match of $3,173,541 for a minimum total project investment of $6,347,082. Project 1, Mintac Step 1 and 2 pellet conveyor replacement, $6 million. Design and install a new Step 1 and 2 pellet conveyor system feeding the existing pellet load-out facility. The new conveyor system will be a more modern design, replacing the conveyors that collapsed in 2022. Project 2, Mintac lines 11 and 22, pre-classification, $2 million. This project includes adding pre-classification equipment to Step 1 and 2 concentrating lines in the concentrator. Converting lines 11 and 12 are the fourth set of 5 installations they are planning. The new equipment, including cyclone clusters, sumps, pumps, and piping, will be added for material processing and handling. The cyclone clusters will reduce the total solids tonnage, feeding the flotation circuit by performing size separation. The modifications are expected to improve recovery in Step 1 and 2 process by approximately 2%, as well as a cost savings from less chemical consumption. The reduction in energy use and chemical consumption both have positive environmental benefits. Rob Wilmanen and Travis Kalari are available if there are any questions on this project.
Representative Scott.
Mr. Chair, one of the reps, do you guys try to use as much US product as you can with, I realize sometimes the technology, the United States doesn't have it, we have to go to the European Union. Do you try to do that as much, like with the conveyors and stuff like that?
Yeah, Representative Scarborough, yeah, we certainly do. There is obviously a lot of, these type of equipment that are produced by North Metso, it's over in Scandinavia, but yeah, we try to make sure the pipes and PC parts are still made.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative Scott. Seeing no more, you may continue.
Project 6, United Taconite Mining Company. United Taconite Mining Company is eligible for a rebate of $1,226,395, subject to the company providing a minimum match of $1,226,395 for a minimum total project investment of $2,452,790. Project 1 is the furnace line 2 burner replacement at $1.6 million. United Tack pelletizing process consists of 2 furnace lines and represents the final stages of production. Pellets are fired at a temperature exceeding 2 million degrees Fahrenheit to achieve the requisite qualities before shipment to a steel making facility. This project was completed to reduce emissions while maintaining existing production rates. Project 2, tailings management facility expansion, $900,000. UTAC's existing tailing storage is projected to reach its capacity in 2031. Work has begun to add an additional storage cell to increase capacity and sustain the facility and jobs for future generations. As ore is milled, the material is separated between concentrate and tailings. Tailings are deposited into the tailings management facility, which provides a safe, efficient storage method while recycling water back into the pellet production process. Nick Ukima, General Manager, is available virtually if there are any questions on this project.
Representative Scott.
Just a technical, did you mean 2,000 degrees or 2 million degrees?
2,000 degrees. I think that's what we have written in there. So yes, 2,000 degrees.
Sorry, I just wanted to correct it, because I'm trying to picture what 2 million degrees are. Sorry.
I don't know whether to say thank you or not. for that.
I apologize. I apologize for listening and following. Thank you.
All right, with that, is there any further comments or questions or anything to the resolution? Seeing that, I'm looking for a motion to move resolution number 24-011. So moved by Senator Houschild. Any further discussion? With that, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, signify by saying nay. Motion prevails.
Here. The sun has 2 million degrees.
Next, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, resolution number 24-012. The staff presenting will be Ms. Ridlin and Mr. Ismail.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Igo and members of the board. Today before you, you have 12 broadband development and community infrastructure projects. Just as a reminder, broadband infrastructure grants assist projects that help households and businesses reach the state of Minnesota broadband speed goal. Development infrastructure grants assist with infrastructure to support business development. And community infrastructure grants assist projects that support residential infrastructure and public facility improvements. These 12 projects total an agency investment of just over 4 million, with total project investment just under 31 million. Today before you, the first broadband project is from CTC Communications, who requests $1,300,000, just over $1.3 million to connect up to 482 unserved and underserved households in the Clinton Township and adjacent areas. This project is capable of speeds that will far exceed the state of Minnesota 2026 speed goal of 100 megabits per second download and 20 megabits per second upload. Construction is planned for the summer of 2025. This project would be contingent on securing a D border-to-border broadband grant, which applications are due tomorrow.
The next project for your consideration, the development infrastructure. Chisholm Hemming Airport Authority, grant requested amount is $150,000. Project consists of taxi lane rehabilitation and hangar upgrades. The airport provides space and accessibility for several businesses. Hangar C was built in 1940 and served as the airport's main terminal building. The building was repurposed in 2011 for LifeLink, which provides regional medical flights and emergency medical services. The building needs exterior repairs, including tuck pointing and paint. Taxi lane A01 serves 6 T hangars and tenants and is the sole taxi lane providing access for Midwest finishing. The taxi lane is in disrepair and needs immediate upgrades, and the project is expected to retain 34 permanent positions and create 8 construction jobs. The next development infrastructure project request, City of Virginia. Grant amount requested $500,000. Project consists of infrastructure upgrades and utility relocation for the continued redevelopment of the Uptown Virginia, formerly known as Leatherwood Mall. Rockstep Capital is moving forward with a multi-million-dollar redevelopment of the interior small shop space and will perform full demolition of the interior stores and common area. Rockstep will reconfigure build-out space for a new anchor store and additional smaller retail operators. New loading docks will be installed and aged and failing infrastructure will be updated. Project is expected to create 40 permanent jobs and 49 construction jobs. The next projects for your consideration are community infrastructure. First request, City of Aiken, requested amount $250,000. Project consists of infrastructure, site work, and construction of a new community field house. The new field house building is part of a larger regional park development project that serves Aiken and the surrounding townships. The city developed a new hockey rink and pickleball courts during phase one. The new field house will serve as a public use space for regional residents. Project is expected to create 7 construction jobs. City of Iowa requested grant amount $250,000. Project consists of water, sewer, storm sewer, and road reconstruction. The city will completely reconstruct 5th Avenue North and 6 blocks of 1st Avenue North, including pavement, curb and gutter, water and sewer valves, and storm water structures. The project will correct severe deficiencies in sanitary sewer, water, and storm sewer systems, as well as deteriorating streets and alleys. The infrastructure has deteriorated to a point that requires continuous maintenance. The project is expected to create 21 construction jobs. The next project, Writing Township, requested amount $75,000. Project consists of new sewer line, storm sewer, and road reconstruction to improve sanitary and storm sewer systems on 1st Avenue and Church Street. The needed improvements were identified through cleaning and camera inspections and road surface runoff during the spring and rainy weather conditions. The upgrades will help reduce I&I, and the project is expected to create 2 construction jobs. City of Buell requested amount $250,000. Project consists of new water main and road construction. The city is further developing their industrial park into new platted commercial lots. The new water main will be extended to allow for 12 immediate lots and enable future development of 11 additional lots. The city will develop a street through this industrial park area. The city has been approached by several businesses seeking to expand their operations. The project will provide new opportunities to create jobs and new tax base. The project is expected to create 7 construction jobs. City of Calumet requested amount $325,000. The project consists of new water, sewer utilities, and road construction. The infrastructure upgrades will be along Gary Street and from US Highway 169 to 2nd Avenue. Project also includes road reconstruction on 2nd Avenue. Existing utilities in the area are in poor condition and have not been replaced since the original construction in the early 1900s. There will be 14 sanitary sewage replacements and 10 water service replacements. Utilities provide essential services to the community by maintaining clean drinking water and water discharge, waste discharge. Project is expected to create 6 construction jobs. City of Chisholm requested amount $400,000. Project consists of replacement of public utility lines and services, including water, sanitary, sewer, storm sewer, sidewalks, and road reconstruction within the right of way of 5th Street South or 2nd Avenue Southwest to 1st Avenue Southwest. Project includes the repair and replacement of failing and non-conforming water and sanitary sewer service lines on approximately 50 private properties. Project is expected to create 16 construction jobs. City of Ironton, grant request amount $149,000. Project consists of construction of a new water treatment facility. Existing facility is over 70 years old and several components are over 50 years old. The facility has reached its end of useful life and is not economically or technically viable to renovate or upgrade. Project is expected to create 42 construction jobs. City of Mountain Iron requested grant amount $100,000. Project consists of water line replacement. Lines are located on Mineral Avenue and are 8-inch ductile lines that feed water to most of the residents in the community. The water lines are in very poor condition and have required repairs for multiple breaks over the last few years. The project is expected to create 2 construction jobs. Final project for consideration, City of Tower. Requested grant amount $290,000. The project consists of the repair and rehab of the exterior masonry and interior finishes of the historic tower fire hall. The new HVAC system will be installed, and electrical upgrades will be made to the museum. The project improves the quality, appearance, and functionality of the building as a historic resource and brings it closer to active public use. Project is expected to create a lot of construction jobs. And Whitney and I will entertain any questions at this time.
Thank you. Seeing first question from Senator Farnsworth.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A couple of questions I have about the high-speed internet, and before I ask the questions, I want to make sure that it's clear that I'm 100% supportive of the project. Because sometimes that doesn't come across with the tone of my voice. I guess my first question is, so they're paying to put the wire in. Does this also include hooking the homes up, or do the homeowners pay for that? Who's responsible for that?
Senator Farnsworth. This project includes any middle mile extensions and direct connections to the household's homes if they choose to sign up for service.
Senator Farnsworth.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. That's good to know. The reason that I asked the question is I've been getting complaints from all over my district, whether it's down in Aiken County, Sherry Township, where they say that the wire's been put in front of my street, in my road, and we can't figure out who to hook it up. So they call everybody. So I'm glad to hear that that's something that's taken care of as part of this. Is it safe to say that we could reach out to you if I get calls in a couple of years from somebody in that area that's like, hey, I know that there's internet there, but I don't know who to have hook it up. We can call you and you can put pressure on and say, hey, hook these people up.
Senator Farnsworth, I'd be happy to answer that question. There is representative from CTC Communications who could answer specifics. Traditionally, if a homeowner signs up during the grant period, then the construction happens to their home. If it happens after the grant period, there may be a nominal construction fee if you go over so many feet, if you have a super long driveway versus a super short driveway. But I'm sure CTC would be happy to respond if you wanted more detail.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I guess I don't need to do that right now and waste everybody's time. I can talk to them separately about that. I just want to make a couple of comments about this package here. We talked about economic development on the Iron Range for years, and I think this is really going to get to the heart of what we need. We need high-speed internet. I'm really excited about the project in Virginia. They've done a fantastic job with the former Thunderbird Mall over there. 40 permanent jobs for $500,000, I think is possibly going to go down as the bargain of the century with the agency. So I'm really excited about this package that you two have presented, because I think there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Thank you, Senator Farnsworth.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just like to call out Britt and the mayor of Virginia, who know that it's a but for, and they called and they asked to meet with me and really laid out what the need was to create those jobs. I don't know if this project would be moving forward if not for this investment. And this is not only to create jobs, but it is to keep that tax base and that facility as a whole vibrant for the whole region. So, thank you.
Thank you, Representative Lister. Any Senator House?
Yeah, just to add on to that, thank you, Chair Igo, and thank you both for the package as well. I'm impressed. I want to highlight the broadband package in particular. I think oftentimes in our rural communities, we face additional challenges in getting investments in some of those core services that we rely on, like housing, like childcare, and like broadband, but particularly broadband. And in this package, and I don't say this to downplay the private investment because it's really critical, but by my calculations, the private investment is 17% of the total cost of the project. So when you think about bringing that last line of service and broadband to our communities with the hard rock that we have on the range, were it not for the IRRB, were it not for Dean, were it not for St. Louis County, all putting in packaged money to help a private investor bring service for broadband to the 482 residents, it is my assumption, and I'll actually ask this of the company, would you be able to serve these 482 community members with broadband were it not for the public investments being made by all of these entities? Would it be economically feasible?
I don't know your name. Joe, I'm with CTC. The return on investment would be, over 40 years if we didn't have the funding, from all of the partners that we're seeking. So, even as a not-for-profit co-op, 40 years just doesn't.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that clarification that you're co-op as well. You know, I just think it just shows how critical these investments are and how many entities it takes to invest in these. And we keep hearing as politicians from all of these communities saying, I'm not served yet. I still need broadband. And we have all this money out there from the feds, from the state, from IRRB, from the county. And it's like, we're still talking about serving underserved populations in broadband. So it's a slow go, but I'm proud that we're making those investments. And I'll just add a little bit more flavor. I represent a significant part of the taconite relief area, but I don't, some of my district, a lot of my district is not the taconite relief area. And I can't tell you the number of rural townships who have come to me just outside of the taconite relief area who literally cannot get service. They have county money, they have state money, they have private investments, but it's that IRRB taconite assistance area mining money that brings that last line of investment that I think makes a lot of this possible. And I know that there are communities just outside that are begging and wishing they had the mining resources that we all do. So I think we should be really proud of what we're doing.
Thanks, Senator House. Anyone else? We'll just kind of wrap up what they said. I mean, everything that was said here was 100% right. I mean, and I think the best part, when you look at this, and I think I say it in every meeting, when you look at all the partners that come, you were saying Senator Houschild, Representative Blizzard, Senator Farnsworth, it's the partnerships that this agency works to create around our communities to make things like this happen. And it's truly spectacular. And the fact that it's just another prime example of that. So with that, I'll look for someone to move resolution number 24-012, seeing Senator Farnsworth, second by Representative Blizzard. Seeing that, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, signify by saying no. Motion prevails. Thank you.
We need a longer table.
Wait till I start speaking with you.
All right, the next resolution, on the agenda is resolution number 24-013. Staff noting, Mr. Palmer.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, there are two trail projects for your consideration today. The first one is from the Babbitt ATV and Snowmobile Club for a grant of $15,000. The project consists of purchasing a 2002 Tucker Snowcat for grooming the 57 miles of snowmobile trails that the club is responsible for. There's been an increase in trail use in the Babbitt area, and proper trail grooming is essential for user safety and enjoyment. The trail system connects snowmobile travel throughout the region, resulting in a positive economic impact to numerous local businesses and communities. The second trail project is from the city of White Lakes for $41,075. The project consists of the city purchasing a vacant building from Flow International and leasing it to the Ranger Snowmobile and ATV Club. The club will renovate the building and utilize it for a clubhouse and maintenance facility. The club is responsible for maintaining 120 miles of trails throughout Aurora, Biwabic, and White Lakes, and the new structure will enhance the club's volunteer trail maintenance efforts. That concludes my presentation.
Any comments or questions from members of the board?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a shout out to all them volunteers. These trails would not be what they are today without volunteers. So we're just happy to help them.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, seeing no further discussion, I'm looking for a motion to move resolution number 24-013. Representative Strada, second by Senator Houschild. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Motion prevails. Thank All right, the next item on the agenda is resolution number 24-014, staff presenting, Lee Ridland and Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Chair Eichel, Commissioner Rookovina, members of the board. This next project, the source of funding will be the Iron Range School Consolidation and Collaboratively Operated School Account. This account was established in 2014 by the Minnesota State Legislature to support multi-collaborative initiatives that result in increased availability and access to high-quality education and training for students, teachers, and communities within the service area. This particular project request is to cover the increased costs related to the construction of a new K-12 school in Nashwauk, a project that was previously approved by this agency. The increased costs are a result of unanticipated construction inflation and demolition of the existing schools. The original cost estimate for the new school construction was approximately $240 per square foot. The project bids returned at approximately $325 per square foot, which results in a $13.5 million budget overage. The district went to work and identified the following methods to reduce project costs and avoid a budget overage. They decided to reduce square footage primarily in the technical education space, use lower quality materials, including less energy efficient windows, and to eliminate the enclosures for the rooftop units. Whitney?
So the new grant request of up to 5.4 million includes 4 million for the new construction costs and 1.4 for demolition costs. The grant would enable the district to avoid the above three cost-saving methods and demolish the existing schools. The results will be a better education experiences for the students of ISD 319, reduced heating costs, improved facility maintenance efficiencies, a greater life expectancy for the new facility, and conveyance of the empty sites post-demolition from the district to the city to be reused by the city for tax generating purposes such as housing development.
Thank you. With that, we'll do comments, questions from the board. Senator House.
So this is a really exciting thing for us to invest in. Obviously, schools are one of the most important things in our community. I do want to showcase this last session, we heard a bill and I carried a bill for all of the schools in greater Minnesota that were facing increased costs on their construction. Because as we know, inflation is impacting everybody. And all of these greater Minnesota schools with lower tax bases were asking for assistance from the state. The total for that bill was $125 million. So there was no way in the session that we were going to get funding for all of these schools in greater Minnesota to bridge that gap in funding. But what we were able to do, and this is a theme of today, we were able to use the mining dollars that we get through the IRRB and through the taconite tax to support schools this last session. And I just want to showcase this because it's in addition to what hopefully we will do for this one. So Lake Superior, $8 million, Chisholm, $8 million, Ely, $4.4 million, Hibbing, $8 million, Rock Ridge, $3.6 million, and Northland Learning Center, $10 million. Add on 5.4 million more today. These are schools that are getting this bridge funding that they need for these construction projects that no other school in the entire state is getting. Because they don't have the resources and the agency to do it. It's so amazing and so awesome. And I just really hope that people in our communities realize the quality of school construction that we are getting because of this incredible resource we have. And I needed to punch that through one more time. Here, Commissioner.
Thank you, Senator House. Anyone else? I'll just make a closing comment on it too. You know, this school district passed a referendum to make this happen and committed to it, and then see them go through these struggles. It feels good today to be making a move to make them full, so they can build the school that they planned on building and provide good education to the students of that district. So this is a really good feel-good moment, I think, for this entire board. And with that, I'll look for a motion. I think Senator Farnsworth, we'll do a second by Representative Davis. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Motion prevails. All right, the next item on the agenda is resolution number 24-015. Staff Representative Ms. Johnson.
Thank you, Chairman Idle, board members. We have before you today a request for the Giants Ridge Recreation Area Tax. So the Giants Ridge Recreation Tax was implemented by the city of Biwabic back in 2010. And the funds are dedicated to the construction, renovation, improvements, expansions, or maintenance of the public recreational facilities located within those portions of the city of Biwabic that lie within the Giants Ridge Recreation Area. So today we are requesting $500,000 out of the Giants Ridge Recreation Tax. And it is to help support the design and construction of a 9,700 square foot facility that will be located directly across from the main ski entrance at Giants Ridge. Facility amenities will include a swimming pool, a hot tub, a change room, an outdoor sauna experience, a lobby area, parking lot, lighting, and landscaping. Construction is anticipated to begin spring, summer of 2024 and completion late summer, early fall of 25. The tax that was implemented back in 2010 is 2% on lift tickets and green fees, 1% on food and beverage, 2% on lodging. Some of the maybe interesting information that I'll provide to you, that over the years, the tax that we've collected is over $1.4 million that has been spun out back to the facilities for amenities such as a playground, a climbing wall, hiking trails. We started the design process of the gravity-fed mountain biking trail projects with this fund. And it goes in front of the Giants Ridge Master Association, which is a representative of all the homeowners associations of the Giants Ridge, including the lodge and the villas. And so we work with our stakeholders. We talk to them about what uses we want to utilize the tax for, as well as the Giants Ridge operations team, right? They're primary. They've got to operate the facility. You can't keep adding stuff and not, and leave it behind and expect the operations team to be able to figure out how to manage all of that. We do have Fred Seymour today from Giants Ridge. He's our general manager. He's worked there for many years now and is very well aware of the tax and what we have coming forward with this new recreation center. And again, as you can imagine, there'll be programming and everything else involved with that building, and he and his team are working on that. Again, the current amount remaining in the rec tax is $682,454. Again, we'd like to take $500,000 of that and put that towards the building that is being actually designed. We're in schematic design process. Again, everything is always slower than you want it to be, but we're working with Real Estate Construction Services with the state of Minnesota. They oversee this project for us. We have an architect on staff, on contract with RSP Architects out of Minneapolis, St. Paul. Last December, the board had approved funding for this project under Commissioner Phillips. Before that funding was approved, we've gone through and done a business plan, economic impact evaluation, what this building will do to hopefully attract additional private sector development, provide facilities, and again, that quality of life for people of the region. An indoor element at the facility is missing, and for everyone in the range area, as well as visiting guests that maybe can't get a lodging property in the area that has a pool maybe for their children. So there'll be lots of programming and a lot of different things coming everyone's way, and we look forward to this project. And if you have any questions as it relates to the operational component of that, we can bring up Fred and we can talk maybe about what him and his team are looking at. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from the board? Representative Scott.
How long would it take to refill the 500,000?
Oh, with the tax. Chairman Igo, Representative Straba. Probably a couple months. I mean, again, the tax comes in fast.
Okay.
It really does. It accumulates quite quickly. Again, based off of total revenues and again, the amount of golfers and skiers we have. Of course, this winter, we're getting off to a slow start, as Commissioner Rukavina had stated, the Mother Nature is not cooperating, so what's happening is probably losing a lot of Nordic skiers right now that usually would come up to our neck of the woods and train. Because we would usually be the only game in town that had natural snow for the Nordic skiers, and this year we're missing out on that, but, you know, a couple years, months, I don't know the exact time, I'd have to go back and we can get you that.
I just bring it up.
Representative Scrabble.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, the reason I bring it up is, you have 682 in there now. You're gonna bring it down to 182, and I don't know what else you use for it. But
Right,
it's always nice to have that cushion in case something breaks or something has, and your folks that manage that fund,
right.
if they're comfortable with it, I have no reason not to.
Chairman Igo, Representative Scraba, on top of this account, again, this is usually used for amenities and new things that are added to the facility. And then separately, the facility has a facilities maintenance budget for capital improvements and accounts that we can grab from as it relates to emergencies or things that break down. So they do not use this account for that at all.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other further comments or questions, members of the board? With that, I'll look for a motion to move resolution number 24-015. So moved. Representative Davis, second by Senator Reichhorn. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, please say nay. Motion prevails. Thank you. All right, our final item on the agenda, resolution number 24-016. Staff noting Mr. Schulberg and Ms. Gretschner. There we go.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair, members of the board, and was just joined up here by Lou Keikola, the city administrator from Aurora, and Mayor Doug Drager. The next project for your consideration is for the development of an industrial site on the northeast corner of the intersection of highways 135 and 110 in the western part of Aurora. Agency participation would include a grant to the city of Aurora for site work infrastructure in the amount of $9 million and a non-recourse loan to the Aurora Economic Development Authority in the amount of $6 million to construct an estimated 30,000 square foot spec building designed to house a manufacturing operation to be identified by the nature of a spec building. The loan would be at 0% interest with repayment limited to net lease revenues generated from the property. The agency would like to point out the agency would retain approval authority for all leases on that property. Agency staff has been working with the city over the past several months, exploring options to best develop this city-owned asset. This strategic investment would be a driver for future development on the east end of the range. Historically, the agency has made similar investments with some success. Commissioner Rukavina pointed out the project that we originally financed is a 30,000 square foot spec building in the Chisholm, just east of the Chisholm Hibbing Airport. That building was constructed in 2008. The building was leased to Detroit Diesel Reman, who we did 30,000 square foot expansion for in 2014. And an additional 60,000 square foot expansion is nearing completion on that facility as we speak. Detroit Reman currently employs about 200. Another project I just want to point out of a similar nature was in 2011, Mountain Iron EDA constructed a 25,000 square foot building to house a solar module manufacturer. After the initial tenant phased out of the business, Halion, a Sault Ste. Marie-based manufacturer, assumed occupancy. Along with the EDA, we've recently completed a 60,000 square foot addition to accommodate continued growth at Halion. Halion also employs about 200 currently. There's no question that, having suitable properties available for occupancy played a role in getting both of these businesses to locate and expand in our region. Just like to point out, we've also participated with several similar projects throughout our region. With those in Tower, White Lakes, Gilbert, Virginia, Evelyn, and Grand Rapids, to name a few. I would like to ask Janelle Greshner, the Agency Director of Recruitment, to touch on an overview of the proposed project and its importance in our marketing efforts, after which we'll be happy to entertain any questions.
Thank you. Chairman Eigel, members of the board, to add to Mr. Schulberg's points, from a business recruitment perspective, performing site ready diligence and constructing spec buildings are repeatedly proven models in the business development toolbox. In today's fiercely competitive market for attracting new living wage jobs to our service area, manufacturers and site selectors demand available turnkey facilities to be even in the running to land these projects. This is because it minimizes the company's risks, gives clear timelines, and eliminates surprises. The Aurora Industrial Park is ideal for manufacturers in expansion mode. With over 80 acres of continuous city-owned property, logistical location, major utilities in close proximity, and diligence now performed, it will be extremely attractive to market. The engineering diligence performed the past 3 months includes Alta survey, proof of ownership, title commitment, phase 1 environmental, historical review, threatened and endangered species, wetlands, and geotechnical soil burdens. From this work, it has been determined the southwest corner of the property is the best location for the building, with an adequate heavy haul road coming in and utility stubs for 4 future facilities to be included in this endeavor. I have already been in conversations with multiple interested manufacturers from out of the area about the Aurora Industrial Park. I have been keeping them posted on the engineering diligence process, and once we decided to pursue a spec building, the conversations with the businesses have ramped up to a heightened level of seriousness. The city of Aurora currently has minimal jobs in the manufacturing sector in city limits. Locating a new business will not only attract new tax base, but will increase the number of highly skilled, talented individuals from out of the area to live and thrive in the community. I would just want to open it up now for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments, questions from members of the board?
I'll make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking for Ron.
It's not my district.
This is, everybody knows the struggles and the challenges, and the long slog that, East Range has faced since the closure of LTV. We all pushed for PolyNet that is now New Range, and we're hoping that that is going to, come, to reality in the near future. They did receive all the permits in 2019, but we've been struggling ever since in litigation. I want to thank the staff for working so diligently to bring this to the city of Aurora, and the city of Aurora for your commitment to helping the East Range. We watched the Alaskan Energy Park and Energy Center create the jobs, and that is what we want to create on the East Range. We can't continue to wait. We need to move forward in this agency and their commitment with the city and the East Range. This is really a big deal for Northeast Minnesota, and especially the East Range. So congratulations. I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Representative Lussiger. With a motion to move resolution number 24-016, second by Senator Farnsworth. And with that, we will go to a vote. All those in favor of passage of the resolution signify by saying aye. Aye.
Yeah.
All those, please signify by saying nay. Motion prevails. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. With that, we've concluded our final items in the agenda, and with that, I'll just open up to the members of the board of the commissioner for any kind of closing comments or questions before we end today's meeting. Senator Wright.
Another, congratulations to you, Lorena, on your retirement. I will say, when I came in 7 years, I know you've seen a lot of changes on this board over your time here, but you and Commissioner Phillips at the time were extremely helpful to me when I came on and helping me get up to speed. So we really appreciate how accessible you guys have both been, and you as well, Commissioner. So congratulations to you again on your retirement, and thank you for all of your years of service to this agency.
Thank you.
I just want to stress, we have an opportunity to work on this housing now, and the commissioner, I think it's every Monday, you have a meeting every Monday, right, on housing? So if someone out there in the land can't see that we're trying to work with you to bring housing to northeastern Minnesota, you're not listening. We want to bring housing here. There's a multiple, the legislature last year, we passed a pile of money. Hopefully we can tap some of it. Hopefully we can match it with our money. We are blessed with the IRRB to have this matching money to make the other money last longer. So I'm hoping our communities in rural can tap into this and just keep it on our forefront. Thank you, Commissioner.
On the housing front, and this might be for the commissioner or one of the staff, what kind of interest have we been seeing on that front? Some people looking to build Section 8, affordable housing, market rate housing, single family for either rent or sale. What kind of demand have we been seeing so far, just as people's interest has started to rise?
Sure, I go, Senator Icorn. I would say it's interest all over the place. So we know one cities, we've helped with a little bit with the development grant. On their plans for their new single family developments, like there was site work, there was, so, we're helping with that. We have had interest, with some market rate, housing facilities that may be coming. And then we also have towns that are looking at doing like, rehab work, so maybe they start a fund, the housing trust fund, I think it's called, then maybe we might participate in some of that funding, and then we've also been working with St. Louis County and open to working with other counties, but with St. Louis County, we have a tentative plan of some rehabilitation. But I really anticipate at the next meeting to have, quite a bit more to present to you, but I would say there's interest in senior housing, there's interest in market rate housing, there's interest in rehab for the, we want to keep the single homes that can be rehabbed, but also infill and bring in new development, so.
Thank you.
The only positive thing that I can say with 100% certainty is that there's not enough housing, so.
Thank you for the comments. And I just asked because being in housing industry myself, I see kind of the biggest gap in workforce housing. Certainly there's a gap everywhere, but the biggest gap I see exists in the workforce housing space.
Thank you. Any other further comments, questions? Well, with that, I'll just close. Thank you everyone today for your attendance at today's meeting. I hope everyone has happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. With that, we are adjourned.
So the way that I.